As the final hours of 31 October arrive, time feels different. It no longer moves quietly in the background. It stands in front of you, asking for attention. These last hours are not just the closing of a date. They are a mirror. They show you who you have been this month, what you have built and what you have ignored. Time is not an enemy, it is a teacher, and tonight it teaches through silence. It shows truth not through words, but through reflection. When the noise of the day fades and the world slows down, you can see clearly what you have done with your time. You begin to notice the moments you wasted on distractions, the chances you postponed, the small promises you broke to yourself. The truth of your discipline, your focus, your intention, it all stands in front of you. The hours are honest. They do not lie, they do not hide, they only reflect. The final hours of 31 October are not about regret. They are about recognition. What you see tonight is not punishment, it is awareness. Time simply gives back what you gave it. If you offered effort, it offers results. If you offered excuses, it offers emptiness. This is the law of life. You receive what you invest, and every moment is the proof. There is something powerful in realizing how fast a month disappears. It shows that life does not wait for readiness. It keeps moving, whether you move with it or not. The energy of this night reminds you, you are not permanent. Every choice you make becomes a memory within hours. Every delay becomes distance. The clock does not stop to comfort you. It keeps counting, silently reminding you that the only thing that truly belongs to you is your awareness. When you look back at this month, do not only count what you achieved. Look deeper. See how much awareness you carried through each day. Were you awake, or were you just repeating habits? Did you live this month consciously, or did you let it pass on autopilot? Because awareness is the true measure of time. A single hour of awareness holds more value than a week of distraction. These final hours are a chance to meet yourself, not the one you pretend to be, but the one you truly are. When you strip away the noise, the opinions, the expectations, what remains is raw truth, and truth can be uncomfortable. It reminds you of how often you avoided effort, how often you chose comfort instead of growth. But that discomfort is not something to escape from. It is your path. It shows you where your next step must go. Growth never comes from time itself. It comes from how you use it. Each hour that you spend consciously becomes part of your transformation. Each moment that you waste unconsciously becomes part of your decline. The final hours of 31 October do not ask for explanation. They ask for honesty. Stand in front of your own reflection and see the truth as it is. That is the beginning of change. The one who understands the value of these hours begins to live differently. They stop waiting for inspiration because they understand that time itself is inspiration. They stop waiting for motivation because they know that every passing hour is a reminder that nothing waits. They use time as fuel, not as comfort. There is a deep wisdom hidden in endings. The last hours of this day, this month, they remind you of impermanence. Everything passes. Every breath, every chance, every person, every thought, all of it moves on. To realize this deeply is not to be sad, it is to be awake. It gives strength, it gives urgency, it gives focus. You begin to see that the most dangerous illusion is believing you still have time. If you could feel the weight of this moment, you would stop wasting energy on what does not matter. You would stop waiting for the perfect moment to start. You would realize that perfection is born in the middle of action, not before it. You would stop saying tomorrow, because you would see that tomorrow is built by what you do tonight. The clock does not take sides. It does not reward the lazy or the disciplined. It simply moves. But the difference lies in how you move with it. If you walk with awareness, each second strengthens you. If you walk without awareness, each second drains you. The power of this night lies in choice, to live consciously or to repeat unconsciously. As this day closes, stand still for a moment. Breathe. Feel how the silence of the night holds more truth than any word. Look at how the stillness reveals everything you try to hide. You can see your own story written in these last hours. Your victories, your failures, your intentions. Accept it all. This acceptance is the beginning of power. The final hours of 31 October are not your enemy. They are your mirror. They are here to show you what must change before the next chapter begins. Let them teach you. Let them humble you. Let them awaken you. Because when the clock moves past midnight, a new page begins. And what you carry into it will decide everything. The final hours of 31 October are not ordinary hours. They carry a strange energy, quiet but powerful. It feels as if the world holds its breath, waiting to see who is truly awake. These hours are not about time. They are about awareness. When everything slows down, life gives you a test of how conscious you are of your own path, your choices, your state of being. Most people will not notice this test. They will rush through these hours distracted by screens, conversations, or noise. But for the one who pays attention, this night becomes a mirror. Awareness is the light that allows you to see what is really happening inside you. When that light is missing, you move through life half asleep, doing, talking, thinking, but never truly seeing. The final hours of 31 October invite you to stop and look. They whisper that you don't need more time, you need more presence. The world does not change because another month ends. It changes when you begin to see yourself clearly in this very moment. These hours test you not by what you do, but by how awake you are while doing it. The difference between living and existing lies in awareness. You can be busy all month, yet accomplish nothing real if you are unconscious through it. You can also do very little tonight, yet transform completely if you are fully present in it. The final hours of this day hold that potential, the potential to awaken, to break free from the automatic patterns that controlled you all month. When you move with awareness, you begin to notice how many things you do without thinking. The habits, the scrolling, the small escapes, they are all signs of a mind that fears silence. But silence is not the enemy, it is the teacher. In the stillness of this night, listen. Notice how your thoughts rush, how your body feels, how your emotions rise and fall. That is awareness, seeing yourself without judgment, without trying to fix anything, only seeing. Because true transformation begins in observation, not reaction. The final hours of 31 October are sacred because they expose everything. The noise of the month fades, the world grows quiet, and in that quiet, truth begins to speak. You start to see where your energy truly went. You see where you lost focus, where you gave up on yourself, where you pretended to be fine. Awareness makes these patterns visible, and once you see them, you cannot unsee them. This is why awareness is both powerful and uncomfortable. It burns away illusion. Many people run from this feeling. They distract themselves because facing truth feels heavy. But the weight of truth is lighter than the weight of ignorance. When you finally face what is real, you stop carrying the burden of pretending. The energy that was trapped in avoidance returns to you. That energy becomes clarity, and clarity becomes strength. That is what awareness does. It liberates you from yourself. Tonight is not just another ending, it is a reminder that awareness is the difference between being alive and merely surviving. When you are aware, you can redirect your life in an instant. You can see that every thought creates a direction, every decision builds a path, every action carries a vibration. Awareness allows you to walk with intention, not confusion. Without it, you move blindly, wondering why you keep arriving at the same place again and again. These final hours test whether you are living with your eyes open. When you are aware, you feel time differently. Each minute becomes alive, full, sacred. You stop wasting it because you see its value. But when awareness is absent, even days disappear without meaning. You wake up one morning and another month is gone. You realize time was never the problem, unconsciousness was. Awareness brings simplicity. It removes the unnecessary. It shows you that most of what you chase is noise. When you live with awareness, you no longer need to escape your reality. you begin to shape it. You stop blaming time, luck, or others. You begin to take responsibility, calm, quiet, but complete responsibility. That is freedom. That is mastery. In these final hours of 31 October, stop and feel the life inside you. Feel how every second carries a pulse, how every breath reminds you that you are here, now. This awareness is not something to achieve, it is something to remember. You already have it. It was only covered by distraction. Tonight, remove the noise. Let this silence reveal what has always been within you. The awareness you build tonight will follow you into the next chapter. It will change how you wake up tomorrow, how you think, how you speak, how you live. Because once you learn to see, you cannot go back to blindness. Awareness expands everything. Your patience, your strength, your understanding of life. It makes you gentle but unshakable. As 31 October fades, take one last look at the day, not to regret, but to understand. Every choice, every reaction, every silence, all of it was part of your teaching. Awareness turns even mistakes into wisdom. That is its gift. That is its power. The night grows quiet now, but in that quiet something begins, not outside but within, a deeper seeing, a clearer presence, a life lived awake. The final hours of 31 October hold a strange beauty, quiet, heavy but full of possibility. It feels like the world is standing still, waiting for your decision. The day is ending, but something inside you knows it doesn't have to end the same way it began. You can still change direction. You can still rewrite the ending. That is the secret of this night. Endings are never truly endings, only invitations to begin again. Even now, as the clock moves forward and time slips away, transformation is possible. You do not need more days, more chances, or another month. What you need is a moment of realization, the moment when you decide that the story written so far is not the full truth of who you are. The final hours of 31 October give you that moment. They stand like an open door. You can step through it with awareness, or you can let it close and continue to walk the same old path. Change never requires a new beginning. It only requires a new understanding. Right here, in these last hours, you can reshape your energy, your focus, your direction. Every second is a seed. What you plant now will grow into your next chapter. If you fill these hours with regret, you carry that weight forward. If you fill them with awareness and intention, you carry light. The choice is always yours. It doesn't matter what this month held, the mistakes, the delays, the missed chances. What matters is what you do in this silence. Because silence has power. It gives you space to meet yourself honestly. It allows you to see that you are not trapped by your past decisions. You are trapped only by your unwillingness to let them go. Tonight, in the stillness of 31 October, you can release them. You can stop identifying with what went wrong and start aligning with what is possible. To rewrite the ending means to stop running from it. It means to face the truth of this night, to see where you lost yourself, where you compromised, where you gave your energy to what didn't matter. Awareness of this is not weakness, it is strength, because once you see clearly, you can choose differently. The act of seeing is already the act of changing. Transformation does not happen in noise or chaos. It happens in quiet moments like this one, when the world grows still and you finally listen. You may think it's too late to begin again, but that is an illusion. The time that passed was not wasted. It was preparation. Every mistake, every delay, every disappointment taught you what no success could have taught. The final hours of 31 October are not asking for regret. They are asking for readiness. To rewrite your ending, you must become intentional with every small action. The way you breathe, the thoughts you choose, the energy you carry, these are the tools of transformation. Most people wait for external change. They wait for a sign, a person, an opportunity. But nothing external can rewrite your life if your inner script stays the same. Real change begins inside, in how you think, how you see, and how you respond. Tonight, when the clock moves toward midnight, imagine that each tick is erasing what no longer serves you. Let the stillness clean your mind. Let go of the stories that keep you small. The ones that say you can't, the ones that say you're late, the ones that whisper it's too hard. They're only thoughts, not truths. The truth is that you can begin again at any moment, even now. That is your power. That is your freedom. The final hours of 31 October are not asking for action. They are asking for decision. Action comes after clarity, and clarity comes from silence. Before you step into the next month, decide what energy you no longer wish to carry. Decide what habits no longer deserve your attention. Decide what kind of person will rise when the clock strikes midnight. These choices are invisible, but they shape everything visible. You can rewrite your story by changing the meaning of what has happened. What once looked like failure can become a lesson. What felt like loss can become liberation. Life does not erase your past, it transforms it through awareness. When you see your pain as part of your awakening, it stops hurting. It becomes strength. The moment you understand this, the ending changes, not on paper, but within you. This night is not about making noise, it's about stillness. It's about closing your eyes and feeling the quiet strength that has always lived inside you. That strength doesn't need permission, it only needs awakening. And tonight, it can awaken. You have carried yourself through all storms before. You have survived everything you once thought would break you. That means you can rebuild, reshape, and reimagine. As 31 October fades, let it take your old patterns with it. Let the clock not just count hours but mark transformation. Every sound of the ticking clock is a reminder. Time moves forward, and so must you. The ending of this day is the beginning of a new chapter written by awareness, not repetition. Do not look for change in the calendar. Look for it in your consciousness. Before midnight arrives, take one breath that is completely present. In that breath, let go of what was. In that breath, decide what will be. The final hours of 31 October are not slipping away. They are offering themselves to you as a chance to begin again, not by running, but by awakening. The story is still being written, and tonight the pen is in your hands. The final hours of 31 October carry a quiet truth. If you want to grow, you must let go of the comfort that keeps you still. Comfort is silent, soft, and dangerous. It doesn't destroy you loudly. It slowly numbs your hunger. It makes you believe you are safe while your potential fades in the background. These last hours of the month are not just about reflection, they are about confrontation. You must face the comfort that has held you in the same place for too long. Every person has a comfort zone that feels like peace, but it is not peace. It is avoidance. It is a cage made of familiar routines and predictable emotions. In these final hours of 31 October, look closely at your life. Ask yourself where you stopped growing, where you chose what was easy instead of what was right. The truth will appear in silence. It always does when the world grows quiet and time begins to reveal what you have been avoiding. Comfort whispers that tomorrow will be a better time to change. It tells you to wait for the new month, the new energy, the new chance. But that voice is not truth. That voice is fear dressed as logic. The only real moment of change is now, in the discomfort of this present hour. Growth is born in friction. It comes when you face what you don't want to face, when you do what you don't want to do, when you move through what feels uncomfortable but necessary. The final hours of 31 October are an opportunity to break the spell of comfort. As the month ends, you can feel the weight of every excuse you made. You can feel the dullness of every moment you chose ease over effort. That feeling is not guilt, it is awareness. It is the sign that something inside you wants to wake up. The mind wants safety, but the soul wants expansion. These last hours belong to the soul. They are calling you to rise again. Growth is not always beautiful. It's often silent, lonely, and hard. It happens in moments when no one is watching. When you choose to stay focused. When you hold your discipline even when it hurts. When you keep going without applause. In the comfort of routine, you forget this. You start to believe that small distractions are harmless, that giving in just once is okay. But the truth is simple. Every small surrender to comfort builds a habit of delay, and the habit of delay destroys dreams quietly. Tonight, as the clock moves toward midnight, feel the weight of your choices. Not to punish yourself, but to awaken yourself. Feel how comfort made you settle for less than what you were capable of. Feel how it made your spirit quieter, your vision smaller, your energy weaker. Then decide, enough. These final hours are not a time to complain about what you didn't do. They are a time to recommit to who you can still become. There is a strange power in discomfort. It cleans you. It burns away the layers of laziness and fear. It makes you aware of what truly matters. Pain, when faced with awareness, becomes transformation. The discomfort of discipline is temporary, but the peace it brings lasts forever. The comfort of avoidance feels nice for a moment, but it leads to regret that stays. The final hours of 31 October remind you of that truth. There is no growth without discomfort, and there is no awakening without struggle. When you understand this, you begin to respect effort. You stop looking for the easy path. You stop waiting for motivation. You stop hoping for ideal conditions. You realize that every hour, including these last ones, is a chance to train your mind. Every time you choose effort over ease, you build strength. Every time you move when it's hard, you sharpen your awareness. These moments of resistance become the foundation of your next chapter. Tonight is not a night for distraction. It is a night for honesty. Sit with yourself and feel where comfort has been running your life. It could be in your habits, your thoughts, your relationships, or your silence. Wherever it hides, find it and release it. You don't need to destroy it. You only need to stop feeding it. Every time you choose awareness, comfort loses its grip. The final hours of 31 October are not just closing a month. They are testing your strength. Can you let go of what is easy to make space for what is meaningful? Can you choose growth over safety? The answer is written in your actions, not your thoughts. Growth doesn't come when you talk about change. It comes when you do what is difficult with presence and intention. The next chapter of your life will not be built in comfort. It will be built in the moments you refuse to give up, the moments you rise while others rest, the moments you embrace the discomfort that shapes you into someone stronger. Tonight gives you the space to decide which direction you want to move, backward into comfort or forward into growth. When midnight arrives, this day will end, but your decision will remain. The energy you choose now will follow you into tomorrow. Let the final hours of 31 October be the moment you break free from the illusion of safety. Choose the path that challenges you, sharpens you, expands you. Because comfort can only protect you for a while, but growth will carry you forever. The final hours of 31 October are the quietest hours of the month. The noise of the world begins to fade, and in that silence, something deeper starts to speak. These are the hours where you no longer need to chase, to plan, or to prove. You only need to listen. Because silence is not emptiness, it is presence. It is the doorway to clarity. It is the moment where everything that truly matters becomes visible again. All month, your mind has been full of thoughts, decisions, noise, and endless movement. You have carried the weight of your responsibilities, your dreams, and your doubts. But tonight, in these last hours of 31 October, the world invites you to stop running and simply be still. There is a truth that only silence can show you. It cannot be learned through effort or words. It must be felt. When you become silent, you begin to hear your inner voice. Not the voice of fear, not the voice of distraction, but the quiet, steady voice of awareness. It has been waiting beneath the surface, hidden under layers of noise. Silence allows you to meet yourself again. It reminds you that peace is not something to find, it is something you return to. Clarity is not created in chaos. It appears when the mind stops struggling to control everything. When you sit in silence, the fog inside you begins to clear. You start to see what truly matters, what needs to stay, and what needs to go. You begin to understand that most of your confusion was not because life was unclear. It was because your mind was too loud to hear the truth. In these final hours of 31 October, let the noise of the month dissolve. Let the mind rest. You don't need to fix everything tonight. You only need to listen. The answers you've been searching for do not come through endless thinking. They come through awareness. And awareness grows in silence. The mind will resist. It will tell you to check one more thing, to think one more thought, to plan for tomorrow. But that is the very habit that steals your clarity. The discipline tonight is not in doing more, it is in being still. Sit with yourself. Feel the rhythm of your breath. Feel the weight of the day leaving your shoulders. Feel how, in the quiet, you begin to return to balance. Silence is not about isolation. It is about connection. Connection with your own essence. In the stillness of these final hours, you can feel your own energy again. You begin to see how every distraction of the day pulled you away from yourself. Silence gathers you back. It gathers your power, your attention, your focus. It makes you whole again. There is something sacred about the silence of the night. When the world becomes still, you realize how much noise you are carrying inside. The final hours of 31 October are an invitation to cleanse that noise, to let go of the unnecessary, to release what doesn't belong to you. When you let the mind grow quiet, you become lighter. You begin to move through life with calm strength instead of restless energy. Clarity doesn't need effort. It comes naturally when confusion fades. And confusion fades when you stop feeding it with thought. Tonight, as time moves closer to midnight, allow your awareness to expand beyond your mind. Feel the stillness around you, the quiet air, the space, the softness of the night. That stillness is not separate from you. You are part of it. You are not just living in silence, you are silence itself, deep, grounded, and free. In this awareness, the struggles of the day begin to lose their power. You realize that most of what troubled you was temporary. Most of what worried you was imagined. Silence gives perspective. It teaches you to see beyond the surface. It shows you that life is not happening against you. It is happening for your awakening. Every challenge of this month was shaping you. Every pause was guiding you. Every ending was preparing you. As the final hours pass, don't fill them with noise. Don't rush into the next moment. Let time slow down. Feel the space between each breath. That space is where peace lives. That space is where you reconnect with the wisdom that was always inside you. In silence, you no longer seek control. You surrender to presence. You no longer force clarity. It comes naturally. The truth is simple. The quieter you become, the clearer you see. The noise of the world hides your strength. The silence of awareness reveals it. When midnight arrives, a new chapter will begin. But before it does, honor this stillness. Let it become your foundation. Let the calm of this night follow you into tomorrow. Because when you learn to carry silence within you, no chaos can disturb your peace again. The final hours of 31 October are not just the end of a day. They are a reminder that within you lies a still place untouched by time, untouched by fear. When you return to that space, you remember what you truly are, not the roles, not the noise, not the struggle, but the awareness that watches it all. Silence is the teacher, silence is the path, and tonight, in this sacred quiet, silence becomes your beginning. The final hours of 31 October are not just an ending, they are a beginning waiting for your decision. Time is moving quietly, but inside this silence lives a powerful truth. Your next chapter begins now, not tomorrow. Every second that passes is a reminder that waiting is a habit that kills transformation. The change you are looking for will not come with the sunrise. It will come when you choose to act in this moment. The clock does not create your future. Your awareness does. As this night fades, the air feels heavier, quieter. It carries the weight of every decision you postponed, every dream you silenced, every intention you said you would start later. But later never arrives. Life only exists in this moment. And these final hours of 31 October are your moment of choice. Either you continue the same pattern or you begin to break it. The difference between the old you and the new you is not time, it is decision. Transformation is not born out of days or months. It happens in an instant, the instant you stop running from yourself. You don't need to wait for a new month, a new year, or a perfect plan. You only need the courage to say, now. In the silence of this night, you can feel that urgency. It is not fear, it is awakening. It is the voice inside you saying, enough. Enough of postponing. Enough of repeating what no longer serves your growth. Enough of waiting for permission to begin. The final hours of 31 October are sacred because they remind you that time is both a teacher and a witness. It has watched you dream, watched you hesitate, watched you promise and delay, but it has also given you this exact moment, the space to rewrite everything. Change does not ask for noise or force. It asks for awareness. It asks for a clear decision made in silence. This is how new beginnings are born, quietly but with absolute certainty. The mind will try to convince you that tomorrow will be better. It will tell you that you need rest, that you should wait for motivation, that the right time will come later. But those are the same words that kept you standing still. The truth is simple. There is no right time. There is only IT's time. The next chapter of your life is already waiting for you to turn the page. You only need to move. In these final hours, life is testing your readiness, not through chaos or pressure, but through silence. Can you feel it? The stillness of the night is asking if you are ready to live consciously again. Are you ready to break the cycle of delay? Are you ready to choose yourself completely? Because when the clock strikes midnight, everything changes. Not because the world shifts, but because your awareness does. The moment you decide, energy begins to move. Every hesitation that once held you back loses its power. The past loses its grip. You begin to walk differently, think differently, live differently. This is how transformation works, not gradually, but immediately after the decision is made. These last hours of 31 October hold that potential. They are not slipping away, they are opening a door, and only awareness can step through it. You have carried many stories through this month. Stories of who you are, what you can do, what limits you have. But those stories are only real if you keep believing them. The moment you stop identifying with them, they dissolve. You are not bound by what you did or didn't do. You are shaped by what you choose to become right now. The final hours of 31 October remind you that you are not defined by your past chapters. You are the author, and the pen is still in your hand. New beginnings are quiet. They don't announce themselves. They don't wait for celebration. They happen in small, honest moments. Like now, as you listen to this night and decide to live with more presence. This is where transformation begins. In awareness, in silence, in choice. The next chapter of your life is not written in the calendar. It is written in your consciousness. Do not mistake stillness for stagnation. This silence is alive. It holds infinite potential. When you become present in this very moment, everything changes without anything changing. The same world, the same body, the same life, but a different awareness. That shift is everything. That is how the next chapter begins, not outside, but within. The final hours of 31 October are a reminder that time doesn't repeat itself. Once it passes, it transforms. So must you. Use this night as a threshold. Leave behind the weight of hesitation, the noise of doubt, the need for perfection. Step into clarity. Step into presence. Step into the truth that everything you need to begin is already inside you. When the clock moves past midnight, the world will not pause. But you can. You can enter the next day not as a continuation of the old, but as a conscious beginning of something new. Every choice from this point forward will carry the energy of this awareness, and that energy will shape your reality. So, in these final hours, be still, be awake, and be decisive. The world outside may look the same, but inside, a new story is waiting to unfold. The ending of 31 October is not about time running out. It is about realizing that the future has already begun. And it begins with you, right here, right now.